Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Lance's Performance Shop, Lone Star, Mopars.com. Cannot lie, would not lie, this gets a little confusing. In part, we have a massive, which is awesome, but we have a massive armada stuff from KC Tool that is just kind of slowly collected, and I need to get it showcased. A lot of it has to do with like back-ordered items. Some of it has to do with it was all tied together on a certain sale with back-ordered items. Sometimes it's me thinking like, hey, should we, kind of combine and showcase it all together? And I also just really need to clean. It's like driving me nuts. I need this stuff put up. I need to know that I've got it. All those reasons. So my apologies if there's not like a clear consistency here, but I will have you know all of these items have one thing in common, and that's that they were purchased on the Dark Gray Friday sale. So Dark Gray Friday, it was something new KC Tool did. They had 3 iterations of it, and this would be from Dark Gray Friday number 1. Stereotypically in the past, what KC Tool did is it just had one huge discount applied across the site, no exceptions type of a deal for Black Friday. Usually the weekend, I think, a little bit before, maybe into the weekend. But this time they thought, hey, let's do, instead of having like a monthly Black Friday deal where this item is available on sale at a really good price for 4 weeks, let's divide it up, share the love. And that's what they did. And I'm all for that because it gives you an opportunity to find something that either A, you really want, B, you've wanted to try but it was too expensive, C, you already have and you love it, but you want to get a backup set or a set to take to work or, something along those lines. Whatever the logic, it just works out well, and you have a vastly greater chance of having something pertain to you than just being limited to, say, 3 to 6 tools across the entire month, right? So cycle that up, make 6 tools become 18. You've increased your odds of finding something that you want. So this stuff gets, again, it's kind of a lot. It gets confusing, but we're going to start with the one item that does not tie in with what I just mentioned. I know, like I said, it'll all make sense in the end, I hope. Right here, we have Stahlwille Hex Keys. Okay, you got SAE, all right here, sort of the small in the set here, and then this little set here with a shinier luster is going to be actually Torx keys. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I've acquired every single one of these on Tool of the Day, and it only makes sense to acquire the metric component on Tool of the Day. So, as fate would have it, right, coming in on Dark Gray Friday, the day that it launched, the Tool of the Day was this item right here. What is this item, you ask? You obviously can deduce what you think it is. It is Stahlwille's part number 10760/9. That's going to be a 9-piece Metric Hex Key Set. You're thinking like, okay, great green color for contrast, chrome. Some of you are going to like that, some of you are going to hate it. These aren't anything fancy, they're really not. There's not a ball in, it's not Hex Plus, it's not some exotic Stahlwille profile. These are just good old-fashioned, high-quality steel hex keys, right? And on Tool of the Day price, $23.20. That's something I couldn't really pass up, particularly when I had the SAE set and we even had acquired the Torx set. So this is like the trinity of Stahlwille keys. The other thing appealing to me, at least when I got these, which is going to seem counterintuitive here in a few seconds, but they're shorter, right? All the fancy hex keys I've acquired since we got into like German tools have predominantly been really long. We'll even call them L-Keys, right? We'll go that far. So where I was used to like the Craftsman ones, in the little pouch that had, you dumped it out and like, hey, here's 80% of your toolkit, kid. So you had the small ones, but you also had long ones. When I've gotten sort of the higher end ones, be they from VHA, the Magic Ring, Wera's Hex Plus, it's been, from here in the P and Mopar up to the top of the Omega M, right? Long pattern ones. That made these appealing. Higher quality steel and shorter pattern. Other thing, these aren't ball ends. Sometimes the ball end's great, you have to work at an offset angle, there's an obstruction you can get in. Sometimes you just want max contact with the sidewalls of the fastener in an effort to not strip it out. That's where these are great, these are short, it makes sense, right? So that was tool of the day when I purchased my Dark Gray Friday stuff. Some of the stuff from Dark Gray Friday #1 was purchased for my nephew for a Christmas gift. One of them being right back over here, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to throw it down now, right? We got somewhat of a theme, Dark Gray Friday, Hex Keys, and great deals, so I don't think anyone's going to complain too much. Before I move on, there is the Stahlwille part number of the package. Again, you can also go with that 96431500. But again, they are made in Germany. Very high quality steel. Have not used them much because I haven't had them very long. But when I have, they've been great. What we have here, though, is typically a spendy little item. Well worth it, though, in my opinion. And this, on Dark Gray Friday, if I'm not mistaken, was $31.52. I bought 2 of these. One for my nephew, one for me. And you're thinking like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I know you've got these in SAE. You've had those forever. In fact, you've had them so long, yours came in the pouch. And hey, that's a great memory, and that is 100% correct. And here's what I've got to tell you about those. It's bittersweet. And you're like, oh no, you broke them all. You know, you switched to VHA, didn't you? That's why you're buying Stahlwille. No, these are fantastic. But what I did, I have so many hex keys here, like, I actually do use a lot of socket cap screws, but even then, like, I have a lot of them. And the stuff I have access to at work is old, right? It's great stuff, still good, but a lot of it has gotten to the point like it needs to be cut back. If you've ever tried to cut that stuff back, it's really time consuming and it doesn't produce great results. I say that because they're used a ton on the lathes, right? You move the jaws, switch them around type of a thing. The socket cap screws are getting worn down, but also just the hex profile. Like if we could come in and take this big Stahlwille here, which I should tell you, this is 1.52, 2.53, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. So take this 10 here that you can see the hex profile of. When you use this a lot and you tighten something down tight so it doesn't fly off and hit you in the face or cause bodily harm or an injury, eventually it wears. It's a wearable item. It's like a screwdriver tip. You can have the best in the world, but if you use it a lot, you're eventually going to start to put wear on it to the point that it doesn't perform the same as when it was new. That's the case with these. At work, some of these, they're usually bit sockets, right? I'm talking Armstrong, Allen. Yes, Allen, like Allen key. Yeah, the original OG Allen. And they're just like rounded over to the point that they don't really function that well, right? This is where the RBRT stuff shines. And this is a set. Like I said, mine was in the pouch. There's a lot of debate on the pouch. Some people like it better, some people don't. I think most people do. But it was a deal. I remember back there was a German tools review video, and he tried to acquire the pouch, like for his Metric set, because it was kind of like, man, I want them to match. I want the pouch for the SAE pouch for Metric. I don't think they had it, and now they've clearly gone away from the pouch. But this was way too good of a deal to pass up, $31.52. And what does this do for me? This gives me my beloved Wera Hex Plus Profile Hex Keys here back at the house, so I don't have to drag them home if I'm like, I'm going to need those this weekend and then forget to take them to work and regret it type of a thing. It's a win-win. They were had again at a ridiculously good price. I've pinned in $31.52. I want to say that's what they were on Dark Gray Friday. The thing that's kind of crazy here, the Wera Hex Keys, okay? This is black. This is clearly black. Yeah, it's a black box, idiot. Well, I'm talking about the hex key. That to me looks black, okay? I'd have to go back and look at my videos, but I'm going to turn around, and right here, I've got this thing that is just insanely cheap. I bought one for work too, just again to have a shorter profile. These are more akin to the Stahlwilles. But see how that's like a traditional Wera color scheme, right? Just sort of an offshoot gray. Check this out. This set here, which I don't know why I've done this. These are Torx keys. I've kept these in the box. Everything else is loose, but for whatever reason, my brain said keep those in the box. Do you see that? This is the typical Wera color that you saw there. When I close this, they're black, right? That's not gray to me. So I do not know what color we're going to have in this box. Let's open it up and find out right now. It's traditional, so I don't know what the logic is there. To me, that is clearly a black key, and it is clearly not a black key here. But what is black is going to be this Wera Tools Rebel tattoo, which is kind of nice. Again, do with that what you will. Packaging in here, very clean, very simple, very sleek, much akin to technological products that you may purchase and unbox. But this right here, if you have a Wera Hex Plus profile set from back in the day like I do, it was in the pouch. It'll tie in, you can slap it on your Wera to go stuff. KC Tool recently has got back into the YouTube game, and they made a video about Wera to go stuff. This, if you prefer the metric style, which again, picture this on a larger scale. Cannot remember the switch, but I know it's not yellow. Yellow is going to be what they're using for SAE. Slide up, unfold, boom. What do we have here? Obviously 3/8, that's your big dog. I use that one a ton at work. 5/16 and quarter also see use. 7/32, 3/16 sometimes. 5/32, quarter, 3/32, and the tiny white one, 5/64. So I have yet to break one of these. I know some of you have said that you do, but I don't know about the pouch, if it's going to be available still. The big selling point on these, if you're unaware, is the profile. They are really good. I've taken out, again, think back to that story I told you about the cap screws on the jaws on the lathes, or even the hex keys are rounded over, and it looks like you're going to have to get an extractor in there. These work wonders. It sort of sells you again. Again, right here at the bottom of the packaging, you've got Hex Plus ball end, and you've then got ergonomic sleeve, which I know a lot of you hate that, surprisingly, and then the Take It Easy tool finder. I personally like the sleeve for a comfort thing. You can sort of spin it slightly faster. The big thing, yes, the text is going to come off, but a lot of you say, you know, like they get chewed up really bad. I haven't experienced that yet. I'm sure I'm well on my way. They're going to be seeing a lot more use at work than they would here. So, this was a double up purchase. Again, two of them, one for me, one for my nephew. How could I not? It was a stupid good price. And like I said, I used them so much at work, where I took to divide the setups here. I thought, you know what? I've got to get another set for home. And it's one of those things, you don't have to have it, but when they came up at that price point, that's when I pulled the trigger. So, this, I believe, is going to be the last item from Dark Gray Friday 1. Let me make sure I've showcased everything else on this order for work or for my nephew. So yeah, this was $39.77. I'm not sure if that was Dark Gray Friday or that was like a sales price, but I'm excited about these. I'm going to drop it down. It is from Felo. It is going to be their part number F65231. This is their number 9. This is new, or it was very new back when I got it. It was really new when I bought only the number 2 Phillips that took an eternity to come in. It's held up a lot of stuff, and in fact, it held up so long, I've still not even made that video, I don't think. Maybe I did. Again, I don't get a lot of free time, but I thought, you know what, this is just a phenomenal purchase, and so we pulled the trigger. Right, in fact, I don't know that I had it, because I was thinking, you got to be kidding me, that set's going to come in before the standalone. It's been a while, but what's special about this one, aside from their 15-year warranty, you got this box cutter, and you're thinking like, oh, that's that snap style. I thought you were sold on the Cuttix. I am, but when you consider this is a 6-piece driver set, we'll just go with the price I pinned down of $39.77, and you're getting that cutter. That's a really solid buy. That's like $5 and change per item in the set. This is also Olfa. We're probably butchering that. I don't know. I've had lots of you tell me to try them. And, I'm pretty content with my Cuttix stuff, but hey, this was packaged together. This is going to tie in really well with my other Felo video where I did the refresh. Finally recorded that one, by the way. But you can kind of see they've got their classic ergonic stuff. They've got their Handy Twins deal. I've never seen these available for purchase. It looks an awful lot, again, like Bondus. but with the Felo branding there, I assume they would be the made in Germany. But I don't think I've seen like that set available on KC Tool. That looks like an interesting stand for some dedicated nut drivers there. I would actually be very interested in that stand for T-handles. Again, those T-handles from Felo are fan-freaking-tastic. This is obviously in the new color scheme. If we don't tear it, like I just did, and we try to get a finger in there, which, man, there is no tape, but you would not know that trying to open it. We're going to go ahead and... Okay, right here on the sidebar, sort of hard to find, they do have the set content, so we'll roll with that. You got a number 1 and a number 2 Phillips, huge selling point. 3, 4, 5.5, that's going to be your metrics, the flatheads, if you will. Use them for what you will. But let's open it up and see this presentation. Yes, not quite what I had thought it would be, but it'll nonetheless effective. So, this is cool. Thank you for choosing Felo. We wish you success and enjoyable work. Awesome. Don't remember seeing that in their products. I guess those are, yeah, these are prototypes. The evolution of screwdrivers, actually. This is kind of a cool deal. You got flint, right? Kind of primitive caveman tools. You've got a stick. You've got somebody fashioned a wood handle driver. You've got that, which very well could be some acetate crystalline iteration of Felo from back before I was familiar with them. And then, of course, the pinnacle of evolution, at least according to this card, the ergonics. So, very cool. Little things like that. Kind of neat. If you're happy with your Felo tools, tell your friends. If you're not, tell us. You could see that if it would focus, but sorry, I was looking to the side. So, brown bag. This is I gotta say, while I was expecting sort of like something, you know, more in your face and elegant, this is cool, you know, street corner style, I guess we could call this. Functional is the main thing, so I'm not going to complain too much, but dare we break that seal? I guess we will. You know, I could keep that sticker intact and put that on a... You know what? 1 second. Alright, so where were we? Ah, yes, we were just about to open this brown bag. And I said, hold on a second, because I had the great idea to do this. And you're like, oh, hey, well... Congratulations, you took the sticker off the bag and it's intact. Well, this isn't the best example, but if I place it here, it's magnetic. That's right, we're full vertical and it's not coming off. This will easily adhere to your toolbox and it protects the nice little sticker, right? Same thing, you're thinking like, hey, where did that little evolution of the screwdriver card go? You're like, oh, there it is. Well, why did you have it gone too? Well, here's why. Once again, it's a magnet now, so we can throw that on the toolbox. If we come in here, you get the idea. Little pliers. They're not the strongest thing, but they function, especially, again, good on the toolboxes. But I actually have a video where I did a ton of these. It was sort of like a... I guess we call it an April Fool's video. I don't even know if I edited it. Maybe I did, but it's kind of stupid. If anyone wants to see it, now's your chance to say something. And then if you're thinking like, well, hey, you know, there was another sticker in this order, you know, the Wera one, the tattoo one. Where is it? It's right here. Yeah, I could totally die cut that, but I'm not going to take that kind of time right now. So yes, 3 magnets were created as bonus content in this video. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. We've got the brown bag of greatness from Felo. This is the first brown bag from Germany I think I've had to open. There's a look down the pipeline there. No flasks, no bottles, no liquids that I can find. But we do have... Naturally, I extracted the number 2 Phillips first, but it is, of course, in true Felo fashion, covered in dust. And that's just one of those things. I've always seen it. I reach in here and extract a few more items. This is what we've got. And last but not least, I don't want to stab myself because this one is blade out. The bag is empty. We'll toss it off to the front there, and boom, here we are. When these came out and I ordered this standalone driver, I talked to Colin about it and I said, hey, what's the deal here? What are these doing? These are in the yellow and black color scheme. They've done their refresh. what are these replacing? And I don't remember exactly what he said, which is unfortunate, but again, that was a really long time ago. But I can tell you this, the ergonics, which I thought I had one here. I used to have one here, and somewhere. I always had one, I don't know. Anyway, somewhere there's an ergonics in the yellow and black. That's still a thing. The Felo, which I actually kind of, I'm not going to lie, liked these. I had wanted to get like sets for work, just because of the color scheme matching there. These are gone, and these are, I believe, taking their place. There was also a cheaper driver. You can kind of see here in the blue. Not sure those are still available. I'll have to get clarification on that. Because again, I did ask, I did get answers, but it was a really, really long time ago. That said, this is the number 9. This is going to be a lower price point entry than, say, Felo's flagship ergonic, which you can see on the evolution of the screwdriver card. I have to say, these feel pretty good in hand. The only thing I'm finding issue with right here, there's a chink in the coating, and I would assume that was from having other drivers bang into it, most likely. Ignoring that, it spins very fast. It's quite comfortable. Again, a lot of times, I'm weird. I tend to like the lower tier, like when a company has like high, low, mid, tiers, or something more complex than that even. I often find that I actually like their cheaper stuff more. I don't know why. That's just how it is. But right here, it's going to be really hard to tell. You can sort of see the Felo arrow logo, right? I'll show that in a second in better detail so you know what I'm saying. But right here, and then if I flip it over, your manufacturer is going to be 22. Again, the yellow is not doing us any favors, but rest assured, if you bought this, you probably see the same thing. Once again, you got a number 1 and a number 2 Phillips. You can see they're going to be alternating lengths on the drivers. This guy right here, very small, 3.5. And then we got our 4, which is sort of a nice happy medium. And then you've kind of got the 5.5. This is a great introduction to the number 9 line, if you will. And right here, before I forget, with these 2 sticker cards / now magnets, again, yellow arrow, black arrow, that's what I'm kind of calling the Felo arrow. Probably has an official name, but for all intents and purposes right now, we're rolling with arrow. Now right here, again, this is Olfa Japan. Again, we're probably butchering that. I don't spend a lot of my time thinking about or dreaming about cutters anymore, with the Cuttix kind of in tow. This thing is stapled, which of course is going to be a massive pain in my butt. We'll go with the Kibas here to get them off. But I have always heard people tell me, like, oh, if you're looking for a cutter, you got to try these. And I guess it's a pairing. I guess it's a thing there, at least for Felo. I don't know how this partnership came to be. I don't know if they're just looking for yellow. I don't know if this is the cheapest thing. But this is sort of like a special set, if you will, in the sense that it comes with this. So this is super lightweight is the first thing I noticed about it. The second thing, and someone that never has that box cutter tip, I know I'm holding this left-handed, which is not my dominant hand, but that is kind of awkward. Again, some of you probably love it. Some of you are, yelling at the screen. How can you not love that? Well, when you've never had anything with it before, it's kind of a shock to the old system there. But right here, you can kind of see you've got the blades in the back. Looks like we're just going to click out. It does retract. Super, super lightweight. There's a nice little grip section there. If yellow is your thing, if you're a fan of Olfa, if you're a fan of Felo, this is a win. This set wasn't, as far as I know, like a limited time thing. I think it's still available. But that's what we got. This was Dark Gray Friday, number 1, minus stuff that I've already given to my nephew and that I've already taken to work. So you got to see Tool of the Day. That was just a nice tie-in since we were placing the order. This set of Felo number 9s, I just felt like it was too good of a deal to pass up. And then, of course, this SAE set of the Wera Hex Plus Profile Longform keys, going to fill a gap in the toolbox, which we didn't necessarily have to fill, but I wanted to fill because we had it filled and we took it away. yeah, I went from having like Craftsman hex keys and some like cheap bit socket ones to having some really, really nice hex keys, L-Keys, if you will. And like I said, I thought, you know, we got too many of them. I found myself usually using the VHAs because, again, the Weras I'd used for a bit before the VHAs, and then I thought, I'm going to take the Weras to work. And then I've used the Weras more at work, and typically with me, when I like something anyway and I'm using it more, it makes me appreciate it that much more. One thing leads to another, and again, I didn't cave in. I didn't rush out and pay full price for these immediately when I'm like, I've got to have those back at the house. I waited. This was a fantastic sale. I have zero complaints. So, let me know what your thoughts are on this stuff. What did you cash in on from Dark Gray Friday number 1? Again, we've got videos on that if you want to go back when it was announced, what was released. Again, I did my best, you know, to kind of let people know what's available, when it's available. Cash in before they're gone type of a deal. And then with the Stahlwille Hex Keys, it just worked out well as sort of a bonus. So now, in addition to the Wera and VHAs overflowing, we have Stahlwilles. But hey, they're sort of a high luster chrome and, you know, shorter and non-ball ends, and you know, you never know what you're going to need. It's good to have options, and certainly we do. So, again, I want to know what you picked up on Dark Gray Friday, what you think of all this, what your experience has been with any of these items or something that you grabbed on Dark Gray Friday. If you were an early order person and these were tool of the day, did you also cash in on the Stahlwilles? If so, how do you like them? How do they compare to what you've got? Again, I've got to actually give props to Felo here. I know that was in a brown bag, which is sort of, you know, low end, not super impressive or exotic. Functional, yes. But the box, again, I say this all the time, boxes are expensive, especially customized boxes. This isn't like a stick-on label that does all this. This is a printed box. They spent a lot of money on this. Maybe they got a great deal, but this is a full-color, customized box. Yeah, I certainly do appreciate that. It's a nice nod. Again, if you love those drivers or you're just a fan of packaging, I'm sure some of you are, that's kind of a cool piece there. So again, and it came with the Olfa Cutter, which I'll try to use it. But again, I'm sort of set on the Cuttix there. I've got lots of them. I've got lots of spare blades finally. And we can use them freely. So with that said, again, your thoughts and opinions always appreciated. If you did not know, we've got new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. If you jumped your charger across the creek, wheeled your Felo number 9, grabbed your Wera Hex Plus profile keys, and the Stahlwilles successfully land the General Lee on the flip side of the creek, YouTube just might notify you of that fact. If you haven't subscribed, I encourage you to do so. Again, website, Instagram, Twitter, X, Facebook, all three, LoneStarMopars.com. Main thing, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you had a fun. Maybe you got to reflect back on what you picked up Dark Gray Friday. Brought back good memories, hopefully. And most importantly, hope you're having yourself a fantastic weekend. And I hope I catch you back here for more action from the shop.